What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Chewin The Rag. Today we have the first, this wasn't really announced formally, but we have the first of many reoccurring episodes with DeAndre from DeAndre All Games. What's going on, D?
Yo, what's up, man? What's the word?
What's going on?
Thanks for having me, bro. I'm excited.
Yeah, bro, chilling. So, like I said, this was announced between you and I, and this was announced on stream for me and stream for you, but I don't think on the pod it was. It might have been. We are doing once a month episodes together where you will come on and we will discuss specific topics on top of just banter and conversation, the regular Chewin The Rag way. But we thought it would be a good idea. People really like the way we fed off each other. So it just made sense to me to do a little bit less of solo episodes and have you come on reoccurring as almost like a guest or a host once a month. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really fun. I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much, bro. No, like the last episode was good. It was way better than good. It was great. So I'm so like ready just to come on here and keep catching the vibe at least once a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least once a month.
Yeah, definitely. And today we thought, we were trying to come up with ideas, something that we're both passionate about. And there's a bunch, obviously, that we have in common. But due to the nature of what you do and what I do, we both thought it would be a good idea to just kind of talk about what it is to like chase the dream and chasing the dream in general. You shot that my way, and I thought that was really cool.
Yep.
I think for who we kind of cater to, it would be a pretty important topic to talk about. So let's just jump right into it. What made you think, chasing the dream? What made you even bring that to me?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. It was primarily because kind of what you said, like that's where we are in our life at the moment right now, And I think the first stream was just like a warm up, but now we can kind of get into like kind of going into more details on what I'm personally doing with my quote unquote dreams and my failures in the past and the things that I've been through in this process of chasing the dream. Because I didn't just start now at 25 years old. I've been trying to chase my dreams since I was a kid. And your dreams change over time as you get older, from you go to a teenager to an adult to a full adult. Maybe once you have kids, your dreams change. So I wanted to talk about all that, dreams changing and just going through life with these quote unquote dreams. The main thing I want to start off with was like my first dream as a person was to do music. I think we talked about this a little bit in the last podcast. It was to do music. And since I was a kid, I always felt behind in my life because I wasn't a famous rapper at 13, 14, 15. And mind you, this is like when SoundCloud just blew up. So that's when like 16, 17 rappers was actually becoming a thing. Lil Pump was going out. Smoke Perp was going out. X, before Juice WRLD, I'm talking about like X and Slump God. Yep. They were blowing up, but they were like more around my age, So to see other people, quote unquote, living my dream at that time, like it brought me down. But what I learned from that experience specifically, in that area of my life when I was like 16, was that I can't compare my journey to someone else's, and that's something that I really want to share with everyone. It's like, do not compare your personal journey to someone else. Where they are at that time doesn't mean you should be there in that time. You get what I'm saying? Like everyone has individual success points that you can call, success points, right? And I didn't realize that until now at 25, 24. My whole life, I felt like I was behind in life because I wasn't where I had to be at that time for that goal that I set. And I felt like I was behind, but then now I'm starting to receive some type of success in my life in streaming, like we talked about. And I'm realizing like, okay, right now is my moment. Right now is my time. And if it happened before this moment, it wouldn't feel how it's feeling now, if that makes any sense,
Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense, especially, you're in your mid-20s now. You're not a kid, you know what I'm saying? So I think it hitting now as you're an adult, as you work a 9 to 5, I think it's a little bit more important to hit now. And that's something that I kind of very similar, where I didn't really know what I wanted to do as far as like the dream, but I always knew I wanted to do something, which is why I'm such like a trier. Like people are like, you've done comedy, you've fought, you've done that. I'm like, yeah, because I know I want to do something, but I got to find the something that I want. Yeah. And I think comedy was that something, but with kids and a wife, like I can't just be out on stage. I think we talked about that, like you just mentioned.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what can we do? Well, we can be funny on a stream. We can tell stories on a stream. We can tell stories on a podcast. So it's like sometimes the dream might not be linear. where you're like, this is what I want and this is how I'm going to do it. Sometimes you got to kind of stray from it a little bit and then realign yourself and get it at that point in time. And I think it's important because I have, and Julia, who's in your chat, she's in my chat occasionally. She was like, I was like, oh, I got to go get bullied by a bunch of middle schoolers. She said, what, you have middle schoolers in your chat? And I'm like, yeah, like I have legit kids in my chat.
Right.
Like, but I think it's important because these kids are seeing this, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm doing anything special, but they get to play with the streamer, they get to interact, they get to, and they want to stream, so they get to kind of see a professional-ish way to go about it. You know, I'm not over here insulting these kids when I beat them. I'm just taking it on the chin. I'm not bantering with them when they want to talk a little trash because, bro, I'm an adult. I could be your father. We got to chill.
Right.
But, like, that's why when you brought this to me, I was like, this is a cool topic. This is one that I definitely want to talk about so that maybe these kids do listen to it and they do get a little bit of an idea as to what we're doing and how we're doing it and really the why behind
Yeah. I would love to go off what you just said into a big thing that I realized streaming on TikTok. It was that, like, okay, so I'm a new streamer on TikTok. I just started. For me, it's like, dang, I'm in this amateur phase of my life. But kind of what you said, a kid will watch your page. A kid will go across your content, and that will be either you're the first person they've seen with that setup or that type of content, first person playing Madden or college football. You're the first person they've heard talk about interesting things. Like, you could be the first for someone. So in your head, you look amateur. I thought that all the time, especially playing the game. I'm like, I'm an amateur Call of Duty player. There's professionals. These kids love the professionals. Why would they watch me? You know? And then they watch you because it's a perspective thing. And Chasing Dream is all with perspective. It has to do with all perspective. For you, you may feel like you're far away from your dreams, but for a younger person or someone that's not in the same realm as you are, they're going to be like, yo, that guy's successful in what he's doing.
Yeah.
Or that guy's very far. He's made a lot of progress. And then, like, for someone like me, especially, I set the bar super high for myself, you know? So I always tell people, like, I'm not where I want to be. You know, I tell that all the time. But now going through this process of streaming stuff, I would also tell people to enjoy the process. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
You have to. Know? That's where the word chase comes in. That's where the word chase comes in. You have to enjoy, like you mentioned, you have to enjoy that process, because if you don't, you're going to get lost in it real quick. Right. You're going to get discouraged real quick because it doesn't happen overnight for anybody, really. Like, you might get a video that goes viral. You might get something, but as far as like long-term success, it just does not happen overnight. You have to be consistent. And I think I'm going to speak for both of us. I think we're both two very consistent guys in what we do. You are on, I know, like at 4:30, if I go on TikTok, DeAndre O's live.
There.
I know that every other day I'm 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. And every single day I'm actually starting to get into like 6 in the morning streams because I go back to work soon. That's another thing that people are talking about. They're these people are like, oh, what do you not work? What do you not work? And it's like, no, I work. I have some time off because I have a newborn. But now it's like, do you still want this? You set this up. You got 600 followers in the 2 months or whatever by doing that consistent schedule. How are you going to maintain it now? And it's like, okay, well, I'll set the alarm a little earlier, and I'll come downstairs and I'll sit in front of my computer screen. I'll stream for 2 hours, hit a workout, get my son ready, help my wife, and then I'll go to work. Like, I can do. You got to figure out a way, because that's part of the grind. You have to adjust. I have to do real life shit. You have to do real life things. We're two working men. Like, I got a family here. We have jobs.
Yeah.
That's another thing these kids got to understand too. Like, the work that comes with these is not just a guy sitting in front of his computer screen. He turns it on and he goes. And then we've both talked about this. It's not like we don't stop thinking about it. It's not like we turn our computers off at the end of stream and then it just exits the brain. Now you got to brainstorm, like, what can I do differently? What can I take away from the last stream that I had?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that come with it that people don't see when you're just sitting in front of a screen, chatting, greeting every person that walks through that chat. Like, it's not easy. I think people really, really don't, I'll say appreciate. I'm not saying I need the appreciation, but they don't really understand.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, so for a lot of people, I tell this with positivity, but I also relate it to hustling as well, or grinding. People do this thing where they're like, you have to be positive all the time, right? And it's called toxic positivity. I say the same thing with hustling, dream chasing, whatever. don't chase your dream in a toxic manner, toxic hustle. You got to hustle, 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 hustle. Like you said, there's a lot that goes into hustling. And as much as you should be focused on chasing your dream and chasing and hustling and grinding, you should also be focused on maintaining the hustle, like you just said, maintaining it. You have to create a schedule within your life to maintain it. You know, like Silvio, a perfect example. He's trying to get a couple jobs, I think, and he's also trying to find a way to stream. I said, hey, bro, try to find a job where you can work in the morning so you can still keep that stream window at nighttime. You know, you have to find a way to manage the grind, because some people, some heavy grinders, might get 2 jobs and then they might try to throw in streaming, or they might get 3 jobs and they might try to throw in streaming. And it's like, hey man, you have to like level out everything and maintain everything, because like you said, let's say you do get overnight success. As I tell people all the time, you can get overnight success, but that means there's a chance that you might get overnight failure as well. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? As big as that comes is also as big as it goes. I tell people all the time, I prefer the slow incline rather than a spike up on the graph and then a large dip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's about maintaining as well. And I think that needs to be like made clear to the viewers.
Yeah. No, and that's that. I think that's the mindset you have to have if you're going to get into anything. Not even just we're talking a lot of content creation, because that's what we're both like in. But really anything. If you look at it from like you're building your body, you go to the gym. It's the same exact thing. You're doing that same exact thing. You got to map out your meals. You got to map out your workouts. You got to map out. It's all relative to just that steady climb that you're talking about. Anybody can go out there and stick a needle in them and, you know, skip steps. Yeah. But it's not made for that long-term success that we're talking about here. If you want to be long-term, you have to understand that there's going to be sacrifices you have to make. And you have to take the bad with the good. And that's where that toxic positivity comes, where there is no bad. There's no bad. It's like there's going to be, if you think there's no bad, it's going to hit you real hard when it comes. Because it's going to be bad. Something bad's going to happen. Exactly. I think you have to have a realistic approach to something like this, especially like we're talking to strangers. You're going to get the guys who don't really like your stuff, and they're going to come in and they're going to chat. And it's like, are you going to take that to heart every time? That's another thing that we don't even really talking about, is the negativity that you might have a positive stream and you might have a positive community, but there's going to be a symbiote that comes in here and trickles in and wants to turn your Spider-Man into Venom. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're going to get one of those too. And how do you deal with that? You got to just deal with it. Unfortunately, when you're putting yourself out there to strangers, one of those strangers is not going to like you. A handful of strangers might not like you.
Right. Yeah. No, when you're chasing your dream, the number one thing you're going to have to deal with is criticism. You know what I'm saying? It's criticism on all ends. Obviously, like you said, we're talking about in content creation, right? So this is a different realm than anything else. But the gym was a perfect thing you stated. Like for me personally, I've worked on my body in phases over the past couple of years, but I can never stay in the gym longer than like 7 months, because I always get burnt out around the 6th month. And I'll tell myself I'm gonna go the next day, and then that turns to months off the gym. You know how that is. You know, I personally let criticism drive me. I was very skinny as a kid, and I was born with an immunodeficiency. Like I was born without an immune system, basically. So I literally would just had all these respiratory issues, and I was just skinny my whole life. You know, I used the criticism of people saying I'm skinny to like help me become bigger. You know. But I know that during that journey, right? Like, let's say I was getting a lot of criticism during that journey of getting bigger. I know that might have like bothered me a lot, you know, knocked me. You know, I used that initial criticism in the beginning to boost me to get to where I'm at now. But I know that like streaming is a perfect example. If I'm streaming and it's my first, second week and someone comes to my chat and says, oh, bro, you have no views. Like you have no one watching you. I watched this the other day. I was in one of my boys' streams. He was streaming at 6 a.m, 5 a.m, and he had no one watching. And he was arguing with his boy. His boy came inside the live, was like, bro, you suck. That's why only one guy's watching you. Like one person's watching you.
Yeah.
You know, and me and him were just talking exactly what we're talking about. He was like, damn, bro, like I know how to deal with the haters, you know? And we are saying, I was like, yeah, bro, you got to know how to deal with the haters, because you're going to get this a lot, especially in the beginning phase.
Yeah, bro.
You know, especially in the beginning phase, you're going to get, that's the main thing they're going to hunt for, is your viewer count, your follower count, whatever. You know, same thing with the gym, same thing with sports. I'm trying to relate it to like more broad things. I know not everyone watching is doing content creation.
Exactly.
You know,
that was my train of thought as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let me know what you think,
even, yeah, no, that's kind of the exact same thing I'm talking about. Where
though.
if I'm up at 5 a.m. and I come down here and I turn my thing on, I'm not expecting 100 people to trickle in at 5 a.m. Obviously there's different time zones and stuff, but even 5 a.m. for us on the West Coast, that's still 2 a.m. for them. So it's not like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I would fully expect somebody to come in, and if they're just in a mood, they woke up on the wrong side of the bed, they're going to be like, that's why I have no viewers. And it's like, all right, now what do? Like I said, I come from like a comedy background. I'll banter with the person a little bit. And then if they get too far, you know what I'm saying? Then it's like, I can cut you off. And that's the beauty of this too, though. Like, you can just cut these people off. I can mute you, I can block you, and then we're good. Yes. I actually just had to block somebody yesterday because I had a Florida State cornerback. He's a freshman, Florida State University. He's coming in. He's talking about what he does. And this dude, he left. And this dude was like, you had a cornerback in here? He's asking me a bunch of questions. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll answer for him a little bit. And it's like, I do it, and then that dude messages me, the cornerback. He goes, yo, was this guy in your live? He says he was in your live. I was like, yeah. He goes, yo, he is just spamming me. And I'm like, bro, come on. And then yesterday, the same kind of thing happened. And after dude left, the corner, his name is Charles. Charles came in. He's like, yo, I'm not going to lie. I probably just won't pop into your live anymore if he's here because, like, that's stalker. I'm like, so what do I do here? Yeah, I like this dude. He's a good dude. He's a corner. Right. He's going to come on the pod. This other guy, he might not mean it, but he is spamming. He's harassing this dude. So just out of that, you kind of got to decide, like, what do I want to do here? And I ended up blocking the dude who was spamming. Yeah. And you look at his profile, he's got, now it was one follower and one following. It was me. That's it. And I'm like, I probably made the right choice blocking this guy because there's a reason he doesn't have many followers. Right. I feel like he does. And there's little things like that people don't take into consideration as well. Like, you will sometimes have to make a decision where these are real people, you know, they might not be people that you know in real life, but they're real people behind these phones and whatnot that are watching you, and they're going through things as well. And maybe that guy really liked my stream and he really liked the guy who was in here, but I can't create an environment where somebody doesn't feel safe because you're asking them a million questions and spamming them. I got kids on here that watch and stuff, so you kind of got to make that decision as well. And I haven't run into that, but I think it was good to do it early.
Yeah, no, I think most people have to take that out, like that note out of your book, and because that's what people don't do, especially the newer generation. They'll do hate or criticism online, and then they'll feed into it. It's like you can block them in 2 seconds. You can block them instantly. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with blocking people. There's absolutely nothing wrong. With people you don't know or have any relation to, there's nothing wrong with stopping the connection right there. You know what I mean? And I tell people that all the time. But the main thing that I want to make it clear to the viewers is don't give up on your dreams. I want to make that clear to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Do not give up on your dream at all. Like, literally do whatever it takes. I try to instill that in everybody, you know, in everyone. All my friends that stream, all my friends that are in the gym, all the people that are just trying to get jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't give up. More recently, like a couple months ago, I didn't have a job, right? And it took me months to get a job. Like, I'm talking about months. The last job that I had a chance to go to, because I lost my car a couple months ago. So the last job that I actually was hiring around me, I had to walk towards. I walked a whole hour to that job interview. You know what I'm saying? I walked a whole hour in the rain, got the job. You know what I'm saying? Got the job, worked. Eventually, I got a scooter, like an electric scooter, to be able to go back and forth to work. I was walking for the first couple of days. Boom, right? And then I get these checks. Boom, that helps me with my streaming stuff. Now I'm able to stream consistently, and I'm not streaming on an empty stomach or whatever the case may be, right? And I'm saying that to say, like, y'all got to do whatever it takes, you know? And I know some people may not have that in them, but that's what I am trying to be for other people. I want to show someone, hey, instill these qualities in you, instill these characteristics inside of you, even if your parents didn't teach you, your teachers didn't teach you at school, whatever. Like, learn from someone that is grinding in life and trying to get somewhere in life. Like, this is what you have to do to get somewhere. You know, you have to do whatever it takes, you know?
Absolutely. And reach out and get a support system. Like, if you don't have a core group of people, right? Like, I'm lucky enough. My wife's been with me. I've bounced around jobs many a times since she's known me. I'm very, like I said before, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I still kind of don't know what I want to do. I really like my job I'm at now, and it's given me the freedom to, like you said, upgrade my stuff here. We got the PC, we got the camera, we got a mic.
Right.
Reaching out to these people, you know what I mean? So it has given me that benefit. But, like, she's been with me when I was like, I'm going to be a real estate agent. I'm going to
Mhm.
be a realtor. She's like, okay. And then I just, on a whim, quit my job. Well, when you're a realtor, you're not making money unless you're selling houses. And
Yeah, listen.
chances are you ain't you ain't selling houses when you first start out.
Right.
They're going to go to a, so we struggled a bit with that. And my point to bring that up is you might not have that at home. You might not have that support system. DM me, DM DeAndre. See, get or jump in one of our live streams.
Right.
And say, hey, can I get your opinion on this?
Yeah.
We can give you an opinion. It's that
Absolutely.
easy. Where like I think both of us have a very good community. Anytime I'm live, I see people from your community pop in and talk to me. We have a very core group of people that pop into both lives, and I think that anybody would be more than happy. There's a Discord for you as well. It's a very active Discord.
Yep.
Lean on one of us as a resource if you don't have that support system.
Right.
And get some advice from us. I'm more than happy to give advice. I actually enjoy doing it. I do it often.
Same. Same. Like I would advise anyone, if they don't have that that support system in real life, right, around them, you can either create your own community or you can join a community. You have options. You know what I mean? You have several options. And obviously we're on the internet, so there's a lot of finicky things going on. But within where we're speaking of, we're talking about like genuine content creators or just genuine communities, genuine people, where you can actually reach out to these people and they're accessible and they will help you because they actually like want to see you succeed. You know what I mean?
Believe it or not, there's people out there like that. And
exactly.
You're talking to two people who have experienced loss. DeAndre talked about how he lost $100K. Like that's not a little bit of money. You're talking to people who have experienced loss. I grew up in a house where neither one of my parents were really employed. They didn't really work consistently.
Yeah.
We probably had more years with no money in the house than we did with any money in the house.
Right.
So like, I understand what it's like to come from kind of nothing and have to, you just talked about it. You had to walk an hour one way to work, both ways. Yeah. Sorry, one way to work. So 2 hours both ways.
Yeah.
Weather permitting, it didn't matter. Like any weather, you had to go out there and get it because you need the money to do it. So you're talking to two people who really have experienced major losses and still are telling you chase it.
Still.
I don't think it gets any more real than us two saying chase it because we've both been in situations where it's easy to give up.
Yeah, and you're going to experience loss, and like that's another thing that we can touch on is honestly the fact that you're going to experience a lot of loss. You know what I'm saying? If you have like the bigger the dream, the bigger the sacrifices. The bigger the dream, the bigger the journey. And like I said, for me, like I'm finally about to get to the point where I'm about to release my music and release my music videos and actually release my album and this big project that I'm working on. And this is something I've worked on since I was like 17, since I was like 18. But I found myself homeless, then I found myself homeless again. Then I found myself broke, like I was telling Chewin, from the casinos. And I didn't work for 4 years. And I'm going through all this craziness, right? But guess what? The whole time I was still making music. The whole time I was still in the studio. I was still working on songs. I was still trying to at least do something with my project, even if it wasn't putting it out. I'm fine tuning it, So you're going to experience a lot of loss, but even during that loss, continue to do something with your dream, even if it's fine tuning something on the back end, late at night,
Yeah, I don't care if it's like, it could be something as simple as, we're just going to stay on content just because that's what we both do. You're talking about music, I'm talking about podcasting. So even if it's something where you should be in front of a camera, you should be talking to somebody and you can't yet because you're going through something, get a journal, write every idea you have down, write what you want to do when you are able to sit down in front of a camera, what games you might want to play. It's something as simple as that that'll keep you at least motivated because you're looking forward to something. You might be in a situation where you're in a hole and it just looks like darkness around you. But if you take that notepad out and you start writing something, then you're like, okay, my brain is still in this. I'm in this headspace where I know what I want to do. Yeah. Eventually, I'm going to be able to put these ideas from paper to, I'm going to be able to bring it to fruition. So there's little like tips and tricks you could do where you can still be working on your content without putting that content out. And I think that's really important for people to know, like, there is that option.
Yeah, especially people that work or in school. And like, don't let your 9 to 5 take you away from your dreams. Don't let your 9 to 5 job, don't let your career path take you away from the things you aspire to do or the things you're passionate about. again, we're talking about content creation, so we're talking about like higher end, high scale experiences. But there's people that like, we're talking about chasing your dreams. That could, oh my gosh, someone's dream could be being a grandmother one day, or I don't know. I'm trying to paint the picture, right? It could be like this, you know.
We'll get into that. Yeah, we'll get into that. 100%.
It could be so small. It could compare to anyone else's. It could be big for them, right? But I'm saying all that to say, like, everyone's dream is different. Saying everyone's dream is different, you know.
I always wanted to be a dad, right? So I'm a dad. I got 2 kids now, and it's like, do you stop there? No, because now you got to raise these kids, and it's like it's a constant. You're constantly leveling up in that sense too. So if your dream, I don't care if you want to be a manager at a Dunkin' Donuts, you know what I'm saying, and you work at a CVS right now, and you're applying to, you're hopefully get that assistant manager at CVS will move you to Dunkin' Donuts, whatever it might be. That's a dream. That's a dream right there. No, it's not. I'm going to be the biggest whatever in the world, but that doesn't matter. That's not your dream. It doesn't. Whatever it is, minuscule, large. Everybody has something that they're chasing. I don't know what yours might be. It could be, I just want to retire. All right, then just work that 9 to 5 and work it as best you can. Put your money aside. It can be literally anything.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
And they all have the same, the main thing to every single one of them is just the work.
Yes.
It always comes to the work, showing up and being consistent. Those are like, that's your main course right there.
Yeah, no, that's it. People say it, right? And like, it seems it's easy to sweep under the rug when everyone's saying consistency, you know, everyone says consistency, but like when you're in it, it's tough. I have people tell me I'm gonna do this every day. And then when it's time to do it every day, hey, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's hard to stick it out. Like I was just talking about it now or yesterday. I have a kidney infection. I got all type of stuff going on with my kidneys and stuff. You know what I mean? All type of stuff, you know, and that controls like you using the bathroom. So like, that's just, I'm on stream and I'm jumping up, you know, because I'm like, yo, my kidneys are literally like killing me. And I'm like, yo, the grind don't stop though. Like consistency matters. And I was telling Silvio this morning, I was telling him that, the ChatGPT and Google would say, hey, it's okay to miss a day on TikTok live. Like it won't mess up your algorithm. And I told him, I said, bro, I don't believe that because every day I see new people come in. And if I don't stream that day, that is a day that I probably will never touch their For You page ever again. I'm talking in the realm of severity, right? But I give myself these standards to push myself harder, you know? Okay, I don't want to miss this person. Think about it like this. It's a perfect way to say it. That person that you missed on the day you took off of streaming, it could be your top gifter. It could be your top gifter for the week. That person could have dropped you 2 galaxies, you know? Like, you don't know who you're missing out on. And that's why I personally stream every day, because I want to be able to reach out to everybody, you know?
Correct. And I get it. Everybody's got something going on. But the main thing should be the main thing. If that's really what you want to do, you got to try to find a way. You might have an appointment that's on the time you typically stream. Stream before your appointment. I know, I understand, like, this is my time, but bro, just I was nervous about this morning stream. I was like, who's up at 6 a.m.? It's been some of my best streams. They've been like legitimately fun. I'm meeting new people.
Yeah, that's amazing, bro.
Like I'm meeting athletes, you know what I mean? I got a guest from a podcast doing it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta sometimes take that jump. You can't listen to the what if, because that's gonna eat you up. Like maybe the what if is right, but you're not gonna know if you don't do it. So there's certain things you're gonna have to sacrifice. For me, you know, I like doing these night streams, 9 to 12. Well, I know the next morning I'm gonna be a little tired. I got 2 kids. Right. I got stuff to do. After I end this stream, I gotta go drop my car off somewhere. I got things to do outside of that. But I still want to try to hit my morning stream too, because I'm bringing in a new audience doing that. I'm just gonna have to deal with being tired.
Yes,
there are certain sacrifices. Part. Yes, there are certain sacrifices, and that's what I want to get into, is the sacrifices you have to make to kind of do these things.
Like I've lost a lot to get where I gotta be. You know, we were talking about that a little bit and stuff, and I'll continue just to lightly touch on it. Like I've just lost a lot to get to where I gotta be, but like the things I've lost, like let's say there are materialistic things that I've lost, I gained knowledge from that. You get what I'm saying? So I lost money, I lost apartments, I lost cars, I lost women, I lost any big materialistic thing that a man could work for in his life. but I gained knowledge from it. You get what I'm saying? I gained the faculties to be able to get to the next step. Sometimes the next step isn't getting the next house or getting the next car. Those are like blinders for us. Those things keep us spending our money on things we don't even need. I know so many people that buy like 30, 40,000 cars, you know?
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean? And I used to be like that, but like now I just want a nice little Honda Civic because I've been through life. So I want people to know that when you go through loss and you are making those sacrifices, that's going to allow you to go to the next stage of life, the next phase of life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're talking. These aren't even just sacrifices for us. You know what I mean? Like my wife right now, she's got a 2-month-old in her hands and she's entertaining a 6-year-old. Right?
Right.
These are household sacrifices that she understands and she makes them too every day, and I appreciate her for it. But I'm taking time when I do the 9 to 12. That's kids are in bed at that time. Her and I can be watching a movie, hanging out, just spending time together. And I'm in here with you guys, and she's in chat the whole time moderating too.
Right.
So it's a lot of sacrifice that it maybe doesn't just impact you. If you are a young kid, you might have chores you got to put aside. You might be, causing animosity with parents, whatever. Try not to do that. Parents are important. But like, you're going to probably cause some ripples in your personal life as well.
Yes.
Luckily, like I said, my wife is a saint. She's been putting up with it. Right. So I appreciate her, but not everybody's going to have that. And you have to understand that is a sacrifice that may come up, and something that you will have to work out with people in your personal life is how much time you're dedicating to your craft, to whatever it is that you're grinding to, you're chasing.
Right. Yeah. I've been through, I went through something last week. I'm not sure if you were in the stream when it happened.
Yes,
but,
I was.
It was tough. It was like, hey, like that's the big sacrifice in that in itself, we actually are working on things. So we're doing okay. But the name of the game is sacrificing. Like when it comes down to it, you're with your girl. Would you or not you personally, Chewin, because you're married? But
yeah, it's different.
It's different. Right. But to the viewer, you have a girlfriend. Yeah. Do you choose your dream? Or do you choose your girlfriend? You get what I'm saying? The sacrifice that you're gonna every time in life you're gonna go to the crossroads. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna come at the crossroads and you gotta make your decision. But it's all about what you want more. What's your priority in your life? You get what I'm saying? Because some people have super amazing girlfriends that have been supporting them from nothing to something, right? And it's like, hey, maybe this is what I have to commit to because this means more to me. Or there's a guy that's been grinding every day streaming for years and he just got a new girlfriend and she doesn't like it. Pick the streaming. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all based off context. But for me, my situation personally, like I know that in life, everything is based off experience, and you're going to have a multitude of experiences with anything that you partake in. Okay. So if you stream, you're going to meet so many different people when you stream. If you go to the gym, you're going to learn and meet so many different people at the gym and learn so many different workout techniques, right? If you're trying to move up in corporate or retail jobs, 9-to-5 jobs, you're going to learn so much in that process of moving up from a customer service associate to a supervisor to a manager, whatever the case may be, So that's why I don't trip on people. And I'll advise that to anybody. If you're young, and you're not already married, don't trip on nobody because they're just an experience. You're going to have so many experiences because that's how life is like created for us as humans. We don't just stop living at 20 or 30, life keeps going the whole way through,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I understand my situation. I got very lucky. She was with me when I was trying to be an amateur cage fighter. Like there was just a lot of things.
Nice.
Not a lot of people are like, my boyfriend just got his ass beat. I'm sticking around though. This man can't defend me for shit. But I understand my situation is different, especially when you get married. Then you bring kids into it. Now it's like, all right, hold on. But maybe the dream changes. Like you were streaming and you had this girl right around the same time. Like you said, do I want to go this path now? Maybe you want to be a family man now. That's now your goal, is to create. So what we're talking about is all still relative to that path too. Maybe it's I want a better house for me and my girl, and I want to have kids, and I want to be that guy. All right, that's good. You just came up with a new dream. That just means scrap the old one, or maybe you come back to it later. You get a little room like I have here, and you build something, But like, that doesn't mean you gave up on your original dream. That just means you found a new dream. You found somebody you would like to settle with, and they take priority. That's not a bad thing. Yeah. And I think that's another thing that people mistake as like a negative, where it's like, what if I did stay with this? And it's like, well, bro, go back to it. You
Yes.
know what I mean? You don't have
Yes.
to scrap it just because you're building a house. Build a house.
Right. Yeah.
So I took a full year off, and it hurt. I lost subs. I lost people that probably I don't know if they'll ever come back. But I took a year. I focused on getting the house ready for the newborn. It's going to be a whole different world. We're going to have a newborn. We're going to have a toddler. So
Right.
we still got each other. We got to support. So I took a full year off. I didn't come back until this summer really, and I jumped up 20 subs. I jumped up 300 followers. So it's not like, yeah. So it's not like, oh, this is all going to be bad. This is going to be bad. Everything that I worked on, it came back better. It came back better. I got a better job. I think that I make better money, and yet I'm still here talking to you, somebody I just met not too long ago. We met a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, maybe if that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now I got a co-host once a month.
Yeah,
it's
how it works.
People are afraid to come back. People are afraid to put things on the back burner. I understand, nose down, working hard. I get that, but sometimes things change in your life. You have to kind of veer off the path a little bit and then just swerve back on the road.
Right.
Avoid the deer, swerve back on the road. You're good, bro. Everybody wants it, like, to be so linear, just like this.
Yeah,
it's not, bro. It's not. There's so many ups and downs in everything you do. That's real life.
Right. The path is not straight. It's not just a linear.
It never will be. It never will be. If you are that lucky, bless you, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know what to tell you.
Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me.
Better than me if you got a straight narrow path.
Oh, and people are so afraid to just deal with change, and it's like, bro, change is life. Like, I knew I wanted to have a kid. I also knew that it was going to impact what I do, and now we have a system. You gotta just deal with things as they come. You gotta not be afraid to put something aside and then jump back into it. That's what the chase is. You're chasing it. You're trying. You want to get after it. How do you get after it? There's different ways. That's what this whole episode's about. The chase, bro.
Exactly. That's all it is. Like, I really agree with what you said when it comes to not leaving things behind. Like, okay, you pivot, whatever, you continue.
Yeah.
For me, it was music. It's like, okay, I'm working on this music, but I'm not releasing them. So I made the song in 2018. We get to 2020. I'm like, dang, I can't post that song because I made it 2018. That's not true. I can post it. It's still a valuable asset in some form because I created it. You can make something shake with it. You know what I mean? Music is like, that applies to music heavily. It's like, you got old songs, don't sit on them, drop them. You know what I'm saying? Drop them. Let it drop. And speaking of just within that context of music, I just wanted to share, like, real quick, just what my personal journey was. I kind of started in the last podcast. I was discussing how I was raised on old school hip hop. My dad, he was a signed rapper from South Philly. He was signed to a local label. He had his music videos played at the Gallery, I believe. It's called the Gallery. I'm not sure if it's called the Gallery, but it's like a mall section in Philly. Okay. And he had his music videos being played on the TV, and he like blew up in Philly. And then when he was supposed to sign his record deal, he didn't receive money up front, and he canceled the record deal. And he said that was his biggest mistake of his life. Oh. It was the biggest mistake of his life. And then he ended up having children shortly after. So it was actually something he could never walk back on, because as you know, life with children, life without children is just two different lives.
It's so different.
You get what I'm saying? You can, and I just learned this from my dad telling me. I haven't even experienced it, Can you still chase your dreams? Yes, it's just different. The chase is different, because now you're chasing for your kids as well. It's not just for you. And he made music, and then he would just did music amateurly on the side in the studio. But I was able to live a life as a child where I saw my dad go to the studio, come home, show me the song, show me how recording works, like the inside of being a rapper, which most people have no clue how music is even made. So I'm 7, 8 years old learning these things. And my dad is showing me how to make songs and showing me all these stuff. And then I started writing music at 9, 10 years old. But I started with poetry, and I started with just writing books. I turned that talent into writing music, and I would just write music. This is 10, 11 years old. I became really proficient at reading and writing. I think that it shows when I read chat. You know what I mean? Like, I can read very quickly, and I can process very quickly. And that's just from reading so young. So I got really good at rapping, and then I was making music my whole teenage years, but I kind of gave up on my music in two eras. The first era was when SoundCloud came up, and I realized that you could just mumble rap and grab $1 million.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't gotta rap no more. You could do mumble rap. Okay, original rap is dead. Like, you feel me? Original verses is gone. But the main reason I stopped rapping, not stopped rapping, I stopped working. Like, I stopped making songs showing my dad was because I showed my dad this song one day, and he was like, "This song is trash." And my whole life, my dad was like, good job, son. Good job, son. Good job. And I'm like 14, 15 now. So he's like, nah, this is bad. Like, this is bad, son. And I'm like, no, Chewin, tell me why I never showed my dad music for like 4 years. Like 4 years. And I worked on my music super hardcore. And I got so good that I didn't have to write music no more. I started freestyling, Boom. I have really good music at 7, 18, 19, and I have this project that I want to put out called Respect Nothing But Pain. I've been sitting on this project for years, Chewin, bro. It's been my debut project. I was supposed to debut 6 years ago. It's been my debut project for almost half a decade. You know what I mean? But I'm so close to releasing it. And Respect Nothing But Pain, very briefly, is simply about using your painful experiences in your life to become successful in life. You get what I'm saying? I tell people, honor your painful experiences because that's what makes you who you are. Respect nothing but pain. Just wanted to tell you that briefly. Had to get it out there.
No, that's good. That's good because we, like you said, we did touch about the music a little bit.
Yes.
We talked about our dads both being into that old school era, kind of introducing us both to them. We got the old dirty bastard behind me. Like we talked about all that.
Yep.
And I think it is important to talk about the roots of these things. I've talked about it with myself a bunch of times. How the podcast started.
Yes.
I've got into that a million times. So
right.
If you're going to come on here once a month, and do these things, I think it is important for people to kind of get to know you that weren't here for 300 episodes or whatever I have. It's not 300, but whatever I have, it's got to be over 100 by now.
Yeah.
I don't even know anymore. But I do think that's an important tidbit of information. It's something that you said earlier in the episode reflects on what you just said, where you take criticisms and you use it. And I don't know if there's a harsher critique than your father saying your music is trash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
somebody who made music, introduced you to music. And with my son, it's very similar, right? He knows about what I do. He asks, "Are you streaming today?" He says, "Oh, you're recording. Who's that on the screen?" He gets to come in. He's messed with the knobs on things. I think that's a very important, cool thing too.
Absolutely.
Where obviously every kid now, at least once in their life, are going to say, "I want to be a YouTuber."
Yes.
It's just the era we live in. So for him to see dad is doing it, dad is on YouTube and whatnot, and doing it right, and we got a schedule. He knows when I'm in here, that door's shut. I'm probably doing something. He'll still walk in. He doesn't respect it. He's a kid, but he knows what's going on. And I bring that up because I don't shun him. I don't shut the door, get out.
Right.
Come say hi to chat.
Right.
Come say hi to chat.
Yeah.
So look at say hi to D. Say hi to D. You know what I mean? It's like things like that I think are important. I didn't do comedy for a while because he was born. He went last summer, I think, 2 summers ago, and he saw me do stand-up for the first time. It was something that he got to witness and see dad do. He went and saw cage fighting with me for this past Father's Day for the first time. He got to see it live. He likes to watch it on TV with me. I said, you know what? It's Father's Day weekend. These are buddies of mine. Come with dad. We'll sit front row. I got tickets. And it's like, I think it's important to introduce these kids to what we're doing as well. I think a lot of parents, when I was growing up, I was in a bedroom. I wasn't. You don't get to see. This is adults. You don't get to be a part of adult conversation. You don't need to be. And sometimes, sure, but something like this, bro. I'm sitting in front of a computer having a conversation. As long as I'm not saying anything out of pocket, why can't he come in and experience what I'm experiencing?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Like, that's what changed my life personally. My dad being inclusive. You get what I'm saying? So you being an inclusive father, like, that can change his life a lot. You're showing him things that, like you just said, most parents would say is adult things. Don't touch that knob. Don't come here. We got technology. We got hardware. Like, so that's really amazing. That changed my life personally. My dad being so open to showing me stuff. Like, he wouldn't show my other siblings. If you ever talk to Deadshot, you ever have a podcast with Deadshot, like, he was always like, son, like he like that shot. He was listening to Christian music, or he was listening to like music with no cuss words. You know, like no one can listen to music with cuss words. And then my dad was like, son, come here, like listen to this. You know, Rakim, ODB, Wu-Tang. I'm like, what is this? You know, like, and then it changes my life forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, makes me better in that aspect. Maybe he'll be the most famous podcaster one day because of that.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's the goal. Like, I was in a very, very, very secluded household. We'd eat our dinner in our bedroom. You know what I'm saying? We didn't do dinner at the table. We didn't do family. It just wasn't what we did. And then I started going to people's houses, and I'm like, what do you mean we're going to watch a movie with your parents? What the hell are you talking about? What the fuck is that?
Right.
So it's like, and I always knew, like, when I have a kid, that's not, we're gonna sit on the couch together. We're gonna be a damn family.
Yeah,
I think that's important. I think it's needed. You're raising these kids. They need to see that. So that's another thing with just content is I can change both of these kids' life. They could be like, they can go from I want to be a YouTuber because this guy. No, I want to be a YouTuber because I saw my dad do it. I know it's possible. He has experience. He can even help me out with this. And I'm gonna tell them like your dad told you. I'm like, nah, don't put that out.
Yeah.
That sounds like shit.
For
somebody who's put out bad episodes, don't put that one out.
Right. Yeah, no, you gotta be real, because at that time, like, I was still writing, you know, and I was putting together BS rhymes. Because my dad told me that, I got so good that I don't even have to write anymore, you know, because of that. I don't even have to write, you know? So, like, definitely, like, that ties back into what we said about criticism and stuff. Like, take it in stride, you know what I'm saying? Like, fully take it in stride, because that's what changes people's lives, you know? It changes people's lives, man. Like, this music grind that I'm on, like, I can't wait to actually show people so that people can see what I mean. You know, like, I've been grinding this for so long. I was supposed to have music videos shot. I was supposed to go to LA, fly to LA. I had this creative director that I was talking to, bro. Me and him were locked in. We signed a contract. And I was literally about to go to LA and shoot these videos, 6 videos. I was about to do a 3-day shoot, 2 videos a day. I've never shot a music video in my life. I typed up a whole 30-page Google document of all of the shots, of all of the cinematography, everything. Like, I saw it all in my head, had it all down. He's like, yo, bro, this is the best I've ever seen. Boom, we signed the contract. I have to pay him like $1,500 a month, right? I knock out like half the contract, bro. And then I lose that 100K. I have to pivot. You get what I'm saying? I have to pivot. And I'm in a nightmare because I'm like, no, I can't record my music videos. My album, my project is going to be thrown off by years, possibly. This is a year's worth of money, damn near. My last little bit of money, buy a desk, buy a PC, buy 2 monitors, buy this camera, and do streaming, and then use the streaming to segue into the music. And it's actually working. But imagine how much it took out of me to say, yo, all my dreams are crashing down right now. I need to pivot quick. You know what I mean? Like, it literally took everything out of me. There's so many tough days, bro, where I was like, no, I can't do my music. But it's like, you can do it, just not right now. You feel me?
Yeah. And that's what we talked about. That's a prime example right there is I'm not going to be able to. Yes, I can. That's the switch. That's that getting back on track. It's how can I do it now? It's not that you can't do it. It's I can't do it the way I wanted. How can I do it now?
Right.
And that's another thing that I think, listen, I understand people say, put out 20 videos, put out every time you put out a video, every time you open your phone, do this. Just go live. It doesn't matter. It does matter. I am sorry. I'm about to sound harsh. I do not want to see, bro. I do not want to see you playing a game like this and your phone is recording your giant ass TV. I'm sorry.
Like this. Gotta set up landscape.
Yeah.
Towards the monitor.
Bro, I do not want to see your 70-inch TV from a phone and you can't look at you. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah.
Don't go live yet. Don't listen to Rachel who went live and said anybody can do it. No, not anybody can do it. Put some money aside. If you're a child, you don't have a job, save up your allowance. Go do odd job, shovel snow. I don't care what it is. Bro, buy some useful stuff because I'm sorry. If I was scrolling and I was seeing that, I'm scrolling right by it. I'm not stopping to see your story. I'm not. And There's one guy specifically, and I'm not going to say him by name. I'm not calling you out. I know you pop in my stream all the time, so I did pop into yours. I'm talking strangers. I'm talking people that I don't know who don't come in and support my community. I'm not talking about you. So don't get offended. But if I'm just scrolling like for you, because what I do personally as a podcast host, that's how I discovered you. I check in on people. If you got a nice layout, I'm gonna stop for a little bit.
Right.
I'm gonna see how you talk to chat. I'm gonna see how you interact. I like this guy's personality. I like what he's all about. I'm gonna send him a DM. It's that easy.
Yeah.
If I'm scrolling and I'm on a mission to do that, I'm not stopping for that person with the 80-inch TV and the phone back here holding it up. It's not happening. So I think when we're talking about the chase, that was specifically the content, but whatever it might be, map out a way to kind of do a nice whatever it might be. Figure out a nice gym schedule. Don't start sporadic. Don't start raw. I'm just going to go head first, because that's how you get bad quality. You're nothing's going to work the way you want it to. And B, burnt out, because you're like, I went into it head first. Why isn't it working? Because the way you approached it was just not it. It just wasn't it. You were talking about it with just like a gym burnout, where it's like, I'm going every day, and then it's like, I'm going to rest. And then it's like, I kind of like this rest. I'm not going to lie. This rest is kind of nice. Yeah. But you got to I want people to take away from the fact that, yes, consistency is something. It all sounds cliche, quality, consistency, but there's a reason they're cliches. That's what your focus should be. It should be like quality, consistency, because nobody wants to watch that. I'm sorry. It sounds bad. The mic sounds awful. It looks like garbage. I wish more people would focus on, and this is the saturation. You talked about it last episode. Saturation.
Yeah.
There's not enough. The quantity is there, but the quality is not there. And I think people need to hear that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I agree. And that goes with anything, like even when people go to the gym, don't go to the gym and go every day, but not work out correctly. You know what I'm saying? Don't start streaming and stream every day, but not have the right quality, like you have to have the quality and the grind. It has to match though, like, especially as someone that's trying to do personal training. That's important for me because I'm getting into personal training. It's a big deal for me. You can go to the gym every day, but if you're not using the right form, you're hurting your body. You're destroying your body. It's going to affect you negatively over time. That's with anything. Like if you're chasing a dream, focus on what you said. Like focus on those main things, because if you're not taking attention to detail and you're just chasing a dream because you got to chase a dream, that's all you have to do, it's going to backfire. It's going to backfire. And I wish I had more of a longer list of dreams that people chase, but it's like everyone has a different one.
Exactly. There's so many, bro. There's so many. You can't do, like, I keep throwing out random examples because I'm just trying to think of something that pops up back here. But I think for moving forward, I might just bring up content, because that's a very specific thing. That's what our audience is focused on.
Right.
But no, I think that's really important to hear. I don't like this idea of these people opening up TikTok and they tell these kids, like, do this. It doesn't matter. It does matter, bro. It really, really, it matters. It matters a lot. You don't know who's going to pop into your chat. You don't know who's going to be there. Sure, you might develop a small community that doesn't mind, that is like you for you. That's cool. But if that's your dream, if we're talking specifically a dream, that's going to fizzle out real quick.
Yeah.
Everybody starts somewhere. I get it. I started with a really crappy iMac or whatever for my pod.
Yeah.
But I still went out, bought the camera. I still made sure that quality was there. I still used a Rode pod mic. I still used a Focusrite. I made sure that overall quality was there. The camera just wasn't that great. That's it. But I think it's important for people to hear these things that these TikTok trend people won't tell them, which is, do not post a video every day just to post a video. I don't need to see you kicking a rock down the street and being like, "Oh, I posted my 7 seconds with some text over it." No, bro, are you trying to get followers? Or are you trying to develop something here? Because there's a big difference. That's another thing.
These people get paid. They get paid for this stuff. Like a lot of stuff. So if you have a creator telling you how to do live and they have a link in their post, they get paid for you clicking that link and signing up for a live. So they're like, let's create all these new TikTok creators, and then you're going live, kind of shooting yourself in the foot because you're not even ready to go live yet, but you're paying this person off of commission because they clicked on the link. So be mindful of that, especially in the realm of social media. Like, these people are trying to push content creation on people because that's what helps them. Very rarely are they actually concerned about the quality of your content. You know what I mean? So that's why we're here to say, hey, okay, sure, click that link and sure, start the live, but make sure you have the things that you need to go live. And once again, we can transfer that to any quote unquote dream or passion for anyone. Make sure you're prepared to embark on that said journey instead of just nose diving into it for no apparent reason, or because you want to be in it. Like, be ready. You know what I'm saying? Be ready for it.
You know how many bad managers there are in the world because they just wanted the promotion?
Right.
You know how many bad managers, like, I already flipped what I said. I said, we're going to talk content creation. I went right to management. Turn that around real quick.
Nah, that's a perfect example, though.
You think about me, right? If I was a supervisor when I was late teens, early 20s for a cleaning company.
Yeah.
I think these people like that I was a supervisor when it's a cleaning company, bro. Who comes with retirees? They don't want to listen to me, but I understood that. So I'm not going to rag on these people. You're older than me. Look, just please do your job. Don't make me have to come behind you. I don't like this. I'm 22 years old. You're my grandfather's age, bro.
Right.
I don't want to do this. That's a good manager. Now you get the kid who moved up quickly, and it's like, oh, well, I'm manager now. And then now you're driving everybody out of the business. Why? Bad manager. They weren't equipped mentally. They weren't prepared for that leadership role. You didn't really have a leader. You had somebody who did what they told. A job opened up, he applied, and they got it. That's not a manager. That's just somebody who took a job opening. They don't really care to manage. And I think that equates. I think it is important to take the steps necessary to do things the right way. You can tell if you work for a guy, you could tell within a couple of weeks, do you have a good manager or not?
Yeah.
You pop in a stream, you could tell, are you watching a good stream or not?
Right.
Watch a guy at the gym.
It's clear.
Does he got good form or not? It's very, very, very clear. And if you don't think you are, like I said, reach out. Have a third party. Don't ask mom and dad, Mom, how's this stream look? Because mom might lie to you. Mom might say it looks good.
Yeah.
Reach out to one. I'll tell you. Like, I would change this. And if you don't listen to it, that's fine. But at least you tried.
Yeah.
At least you tried.
No.
I had somebody the other day. He said, you've popped in my lives. I usually have the little camera of myself in the top left corner.
Yeah.
He said, yo, make that bigger. And I was like, do you think so? He said, yeah, make it bigger. I was like, all right. Usually just because I play a lot of sports games, it's like people were complaining they couldn't see the whole field. Let me move it to the center, make it bigger. How does it look? Yeah. And he goes, no, that's way better. And then since then, I've had two people new camera. I was like, no, just a new layout. I like it. I'm like, okay. See, I could have easily told that guy to be like, nah, man, this is how I do it.
Right.
But he suggested it. He's watching. He's an audience member, a third-party person. I'm going to take those people's suggestions seriously because they are the ones that see this.
Yeah.
And like I said, 2 compliments right away. So it's like, okay, cool. You got to be able to, I don't know, just trial and error, think these things through, try to do things the right way. You might not do it the right way at first, but take people's opinions seriously.
Yes.
And differentiate real criticism from a guy just trolling. You can tell.
Right. There's a difference between criticism and suggestions. That's what I was about to say. Like, based off what you said, like if someone's suggesting something to you, go off of it 1,000%. You know what I mean? I think that's a great fix with the camera being bigger. Definitely. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's perfect. Actually, I agree with him, and I'm sure that benefited your stream amazingly. And that's with anyone. Like, take suggestions, especially if someone's being giving you positive reinforcement. There's so much negativity in the world. So you have someone being genuine to give you positive reinforcement, just take it. You know what I'm saying? But so we're on the topic of criticism. We're on the topic of suggestions. Something that we haven't really touched on that some people may benefit from is succeeding early, right? Succeeding early and dealing with how to deal with success early. You know what I mean? Why I brought that up? Because I used to be a supervisor as well at 21 years old. And I was a supervisor. I was a training supervisor at UPS. And there was one day where I was literally sitting up there with the clipboard on the railing looking down at the guys doing the packages. And there was a guy that was 60 years old doing a package. And he was like, man, how long you been here for? And I was like, oh, I've been here for a month. I just walked into the supervisor position. I nailed my interview and I nailed the second interview and I just got boom. And he was like, man, I've been here for years. you ain't gonna tell me what to do. And I'm like, hey man, like all I gotta do is just grab your area supervisor and it's a wrap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like well, I'm not gonna do this, you know? Um, so like aside from my reaction to him, the main thing I'm trying to point out is if you succeed early in life, people are going to be upset with you for that. In whatever environment you're in. That's in UPS in the corporate world. We're talking about on content, which happens way more in the internet world than it does in the corporate world, even though it's like crazy over there. You feel me? Crazy over there. But a perfect example is my brother Deadshot. He's on his fourth, fifth stream. On his third stream, he had 91 people inside his live. I didn't peak at 100 people to like my second, third week, which is still quick. But for your third live, 91 people, amazing. I had a friend of mine ask me like, hey, why is he doing so much better than me? You know, because they both started TikTok live around the same time. And there was no like hate towards him, but
yeah.
people are going to look at you when you exceed past the normal performance level for a beginner chasing their dream and whatever you're doing, right? And they're going to look at you, they're going to be like, he succeeded way quicker than us. What's going on, you know? And as an individual that plans on succeeding sooner than later, whoever this applies to, keep an eye out for that, for sure.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, definitely. There's people. So I'll bring it back to comedy with that regard. So there was a guy, his name's Shafi. He's blowing up right now. He's very good. He moved to the city, and it just kind of took off. But you could tell early on that he was really good. And you would ask him, "How long did you do comedy?" He'd say a year. And myself, I did it to him. A bunch of people did it to him. They said, "Oh, you're really good for only doing this a year." And he said, "You could have just left it at I'm doing really good." And I was like, okay. And I kind of got where he's at first. I was like, all right, chill. But then I kind of get what he's saying. It's like, so you're saying that if I was doing this for 2 years, it ain't so good, but because I'm so new, you're just really good for this. So I took it into that regard. And I was like, no, you're right. I'll stop saying that. I'll just compliment you as somebody on your craft because it doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. If I'm pointing out that you're doing good, you're just doing good. It doesn't matter. Sure, it's more impressive because that just means you've worked and it's coming to you quick. That's fine. That's all I meant by that compliment. I was impressed with your work ethic. You've done it within a year. You're killing it.
Yeah.
But I can understand how that could be flipped as a, what do you mean? But like, bro, so if I was doing this for 5 years, would you think I'm still good? Or is it like, oh, okay. And it's like,
yeah.
All right. So you got to be careful with that as well in regards to how you approach things. I hate to make it seem like I'm ragging on somebody. It's not a backhanded compliment. I'm not trying to make it a backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely saying like you're doing good, but there is a way to word things and put things out there where, like the Deadshot thing, where it's, how come he has this and I don't? I know they weren't asking it like that. It was like a genuine, but it sounds like you're being a hater, whether or not you mean to be. It sounds like there's a little bit of hate there. Chill out.
It raises an eye. It raises concerns. You know, does. Like it raises concerns. Shout out to my bro Deadshot. Yo, he's been trying. He's like, I'm talking about the same amount of time or the same around age when I was getting into my music and getting into my passions. Like for Will Deadshot, his only passion was gaming. Cars is his thing. Like he's been working on cars since younger, and then now he's a mechanic. Like his passions, he's actually following through with in life. He had some kids unexpectedly, but those turned out to be blessings. You get what I'm saying? But like he is finally doing what he wanted to do since a kid. His first original passion that I saw right next to him growing up with him was gaming, to stream, to become a gaming creator, content creator. So for me to see him on TikTok and for me to see him like having fun and doing his thing, oh man, like I can't really put into words how much it means to me. You know, I try to tell everyone like, I told Queen Lovely the other day, she hopped in his chat and I was like, yo, thank you so much for supporting my brother. Like, she's like, I'm sorry I couldn't make it to your stream. I'm like, you're in my brother's stream. Like, that's all that matters to me.
I'll take it.
Yeah, like, go to his stream more than mine. You know what I mean? I don't care, you know? I love that my brother's streaming, and I really hope that, well, I'm glad he's seeing a big thing of success. I just hope it continues in this next couple of weeks.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely.
1,000%.
No, and he's got a good stream over there. I've popped in, so usually I'll pop into yours at 4:30. Even if I can't stay the whole time, I always make sure to just pop in, say what's up to the people. And when you do the Deadshot duos, I'm like, all right, let me transfer. I'll bounce back and forth because I do like, and his stream, it changed too. His camera, I've noticed his camera changed. Like I like seeing subtleties. I like seeing little changes to people's streams because that means they're experimenting with things. They're trying to get better. He responds to chat way faster. I've noticed. Like he's picking up things, and that's the sort of thing that I like to check. I love checking new streamers out who like just started out, not new in the sense that they're new to their game, but they just started out their like TikTok journey, whatever.
Journey, yeah.
Because I like to see little tweaks. I like to see a new camera. I like to see, oh, he greeted me like 10 seconds faster than he did last time.
Yeah.
He's getting used to this. He's getting familiar with this. Yeah. So it's really cool to see somebody like Deadshot have some success because he is another one that I think is pretty consistent. You know, I know that around the same time as you're on, he's probably going to be on because he's ready to run those Deadshot duos. So it is very cool to see somebody like him have that success, especially when, like you said, that was his original dream.
Yeah, no, that was the original dream. And like, hey, you know, mad credit to him. But in response to what you just said, I'm sitting in the Discord, screen shared, me and him in the Discord. I'm like, yo, move that camera. You get what I'm saying? You got to respond to your chat quicker, bro. You at like, you got him like 5 seconds late. Come on, try to respond to them quicker. I'm working with him. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, hey, bro, like, here's where you are now. Here's where you need to be. If you come out the gate swinging, you're going to be up here. When everyone else is here in their 4th, 8th, 12th week. You know what I mean?
And I think that's a credit for you, and it's a credit to him as well because he's taking that and he's doing it. That's what we were talking about. Where he's doing it. I changed my camera for that guy. So I got 2 compliments on it. He changed his stuff. I just complimented him on it. Didn't even know you had that conversation with him. You did not tell me that off camera.
Right. Yeah.
I just. That was something I noticed, and you're like, oh, yeah, I did tell him that, and he did it. So, like, that's what we're talking about. We're reach out to one of us. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the best in the world, but I do have suggestions, and I can give you, like, genuine feedback that I've noticed doing it. You can do the same. There's people that are out there that do this almost every day, if not every day, and can help you and are willing to, but you got to be able to take what they say and decide what's good, what's bad, what's BS, what's factual, and run with it. You cannot be uncoachable in this. You have to be coachable. It's literally based on people. You need people to succeed in stream. You do. Like we said it earlier, where a guy might have no viewers at 5 a.m. Do you want to keep it that way?
Yeah.
Because what are you streaming for? You just streaming? You like watching yourself play?
Right.
Because if you're streaming to stream, then you need. It's a people business. You absolutely need viewers.
Yes. Yeah. No, you need them. You can't do it. I tell every day on stream, I can't be here without y'all. You get what I'm saying? I tell them all the time. But you gotta be coachable. You know, my man Silvio, a couple weeks ago, he was being hard headed. He was being so hard headed. You know, and I was cracking down on him. I'm like, listen, bro, like. Do these things, you know, but he's coming from YouTube, you know what I'm saying? So, YouTube and TikTok is just 2 separate entities.
It's different.
You know what I'm saying?
It's different.
Separate entities. He actually started just being more responsive, and now he's seeing a lot more success. He's officially in the agency in Talenture. He's officially in there, and he's looking to benefit from it, you know. But prior, I'm like, y'all don't understand. I'm talking about 2 weeks ago. Deadshot and Deadshot and Silvio, both of them. They're like, I don't want to do TikTok. I don't want to be the TikTok guy. I don't want to go live on TikTok. Like, TikTok's not my thing. And then I'm like, I'm not really showing numbers. They just came into the stream naturally on a big night. And they're like, oh, like if he can do it, I can do it too. And I love that for them. Like, let's go.
That's how that should be your mindset.
Right.
That should be your mindset. And it's funny because shout out Silvio, he was on the pod and he was talking about that where he's like, TikTok is a cop. It seemed like a cop out where it's like, oh, they're going to put me in my For You and push me. And it's like, all right, they might your first day. Yeah. But you'll notice if you're not putting in the work, you're not going to be in anybody's
You will never be seen.
It's not like, I think it's the best stream. I say it and I think people think I'm BSing because I'm streaming on it. I 100% think it's the best streaming platform right now. It is.
Yeah.
I don't think there's other. I did the YouTube thing. YouTube thing was cool. It's not the same. I genuinely think TikTok is the best streaming platform out right now. And there was something else you said. Oh, so for me personally, I went to you. You popped in my chat one day. You popped in my live. You said, what's up?
Yeah.
When you went live at 4:30, I commented in your live. I didn't even message you privately. I went into your live and I said, yo, what'd you think of my layout? What'd you think of the landscape? And you gave me feedback. You said, no, for what you play, I like that layout.
Well, yeah.
I think the landscape. You remember that? So,
yes.
And that's me being like, this is somebody that I know streams and is also somebody that I know will be honest with me. Let me go get their feedback. I will chase that feedback because I understand that an outside person looking at my screen is the best feedback. Now, you just got to, like I said earlier, separate the BS from genuine feedback.
Yeah.
As long as you can do that, you're going to be successful. I look for that feedback. I enjoy it.
No, I mean, that's all that matters. Any form of feedback is great. Any form of publicity is great, but you got to like, when in terms of, you know, because people say all publicity is good publicity. Just be mindful of who's doing what. You get what I'm saying? Who's doing what, you know? Because some people like to go down the route of click farming, clickbaiting, reposting, and then some people like a little more personal way of going about things. So I would say all publicity is good publicity, all feedback is good feedback. Just be wary of who's who. Be wary of people's intentions. There it is. That's what I was looking for.
There it is. Yep. Absolutely. And if you're here because you like podcasting, that like for me personally, I do a very raw podcast. I do a very, it's conversation based. I do not edit much. I mostly edit for like sound and whatnot. I don't try to alter things. If anything's altered, it's because something happened in the recording and I had to clip it. It's not because something that somebody said. So I bring that up because I am a firm believer that clickbait kind of just ruined like journalistic things. It ruined like media. When people started getting paid for clicks, that's when it was like, oh, shit.
It's a rat.
I could easily take somebody's story and I could manipulate it. Silvio told a really good story about his dad. I could have just, I could have blew that
Twisted
thing up with it.
Yeah.
It's like an anti-terrorist story. Go check it out on the pod. And you could do a lot with somebody who worked with anti-terrorism, CIA, whatever it might be. Like, I could have flipped that on a complete 180.
Right.
And I probably would have got clicks because I would have used that specific clip.
That moment.
I would have got clicks. But that's just not, I do not believe in this like clickbait era. If you are here for podcasting and you were like, oh, these two are talking about chasing your dreams and this guy's a podcaster, don't do clickbait. Do catchy headlines.
Yeah.
Do catchy videos. You know,
titles.
You do it all the time. Highlight montage. Montage.
There it is.
Do that. You can do that. That's legitimate. That's your craft. You're promoting your craft.
Right.
Do not just post something because you know somebody will click it, and then when they click it, it's not even what you do. You're steering yourself in the wrong direction. Do that.
No, absolutely. And that just ties them back to the quality thing that we talked about this stream for last podcast and this podcast, you know. Let's end the clickbait. You know what I'm saying? Let's just end it.
End it.
You know,
you're not going to get anywhere doing it. You're going to get. That's what we're talking about with overnight success. That's going to lead to overnight failure.
Right.
Clickbait will lead you to overnight failure 100%.
And don't depend on AI to make your titles. It's so obvious that ChatGPT made that title. I'm going to tell y'all from someone that can actually see it. I can tell when ChatGPT made it. You know what I'm saying? It's the way it's said. It's the way it's typed out. They always put like an emoji at the end or something. You know what I mean? Every time. You know?
Every single time. Like we probably use the same app for our captions when we do like shorts and reels and stuff. And at the end, when you do it, it gives you a whole rundown. It gives you the hashtags to use. It gives you a title for your video, and it gives you a description. And you're like, who the talks like this?
Exactly. Nobody.
This is robotic.
A real person don't talk like this, you know?
No.
So like I used AI to make my captions for a little bit, but once I saw what it was basically giving me, you can make that up yourself.
You can make it.
You know,
100%. You can make
it's just like it's just appealing, eye catching. You're looking in that realm of approach, you know? And then like some days I run out of ideas, but it's like, don't trip on it too much either. Cause there's people that put like 2 words in their caption and then their TikTok has 1 million views. Like TikTok's just weird. You know what I mean?
It's a weird thing. Sometimes something just catches.
So like, don't get pressed on that too much, you know?
No, I use the AI for the words on the screen because it's just easier than me listening back and typing it out.
You're talking about the captions?
So, the captions on screen. Yep. When I'm posting, no, I'll type everything that I'm actually describing in my video, I'll do. That's it. But like, I'm not touching that because, like you said, that sounds completely robotic.
Right. Too much.
And just avoid that. Avoid that. Try to limit use AI as a resource, but realistically, nothing's going to be better than what you could come up with, what a human being could come up with, bouncing ideas off a supporter, a friend, family member, a wife, whatever it might be. Just be like, I have this idea. What do you think? That's going to give you something better than a robot, because a robot really doesn't know who you are, what you're trying to do.
No, it's not tailored to you specifically.
It's not.
You know,
It's
if you are going to be prompting an AI, make sure it's tailored to you specifically and knows the ins and outs of what you're trying to do. And even with that being said, you still got to put a human polish over it when you're done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You still gotta. You're gonna wind up doing work anyway. You might as well.
Right. Yeah.
You might as well try to exhaust all options.
Yeah, do it yourself. But yeah, so the main thing I wanted to say this podcast is just to like put everything together, you know. Don't give up on your dreams. Grind as hard as possible, but don't do it in a toxic way. Manage the grind, sustain the grind, you know. Reach out to other people that are trying to do what you're doing, or people that already made it, you know what I'm saying? Start a community, build a community if you have to. I'm trying to remember the last one. Quality. Yeah, just quality. You know, just quality. Focus on the quality of the dream you're trying to pursue. The gym, corporate work, family, streaming, content creation, it's all the same. Try to do things at the highest point that you can.
Absolutely. Everything we do, everything we talked about, you know, we rant a lot. That's what Chewin The Rag is. I made this podcast to rant. It's more fun for me that way. We don't. Sir. Dre and I, we GM'd each other. I said, what are some things you like? He said, here's some things I'm passionate about. I said, let's do this one. That was it. We didn't bounce ideas off each other. We hit record and we went. So yes, this may have been a little bit all over the place, but I think we touched on literally everything that was important. And I think it's more real when it's a little bit all over the place.
Absolutely.
I think it's more, that's what we were just talking about. I think you get that authentic two guys bouncing ideas off each other, that real conversation. You're not getting a robotic response. Reach out to us. Reach out. Dre's got a Discord. Go to his live every day at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Sir.
And that Discord is posted a million times because it's an active Discord. It's very easy to get in there and bounce ideas. Everybody in there wants to be a part of that community. That's why they're there. It's to play games together. There's a specific spot just to chat. It is an active Discord where you can get feedback from people who Silvio's in there. He streams. Deadshot streams. I stream. Ray streams. Everybody in there streams something at some point.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people that stream in there, and they can all give you. And then if they're not streamers, what are they? They're viewers. That's why they're there.
Right.
So you have feedback from all angles. You can get ideas. I have a Discord. We're working on it. I ain't gonna promote that too much, but it's on Chewin The Rag podcast at the bottom of the Discord. It's there. It's just we're working on it. It's starting to finally get some members from TikTok. I'm promoting it a little bit more.
Nice.
But yeah, all this to say, like, if you are chasing something, if you are struggling with chasing something, reach out, build a support system. We got you.
Absolutely.
It is difficult. Nobody's going to sit here and tell you it's easy. Anybody who does, they're lying. There's a lot of sacrifice that comes with it, but you get a lot of good with a lot of sacrifice. So
absolutely.
That's my spiel on that.
Yeah, you said it best. You said it best, bro. You feel me?
You got anything you want to plug? I know we're going to plug it every single time you're on, but plug away.
Yeah, so I'm just going to be rebranding to DeAndre Y'all Live soon. So some people might watch this months from now, go to DeAndre Y'all Games. It's not there. Okay. As of right now, within like 1 to 2 weeks from this being posted, please follow me at DeAndre Y'all Games. Okay. But I will be rebranded as DeAndre Y'all Live if you guys end up seeing this within the next couple 3 to 4 weeks. All right. That's the main stuff. And I will be putting my Discord in the bio soon and all type of stuff. So yeah, just come to the page, guys. DeAndre Y'all Games, DeAndre Y'all Live. I go live every day and ask me any questions, anything you need. I got y'all. Shout out to Chewin as well. That's my guy. That's my guy.
No, I appreciate you coming on. If you're here for D, stick around for me. If you're here for me, stick around for D. It's going to be a lot of fun. This was just our introductory for these monthly episodes. It's going to be all types of topics. It's not all going to be, dream chase and everything else. It's going to get real. There's going to be comical moments. It's going to be a lot of fun. So shout out to D for popping on. Go check that out. I'm excited for that DeAndre. That's my first time hearing about that too.
Yeah, so. New ideas. Little ideas, man.
So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Thank you guys for sticking around with us, and we'll see you next month.
I'll see y'all next month. Peace, Chewy.